and child protective services, and they won't give them back to their loving families because they're making money.
This is a legal system that you're going into. And if you don't know the rules, you will be chewed up and spit out.
If I could say anything to a mother who just got their children detained, you're in a crisis. Yeah. Life feels like it's over. The most important thing is regaining custody of your children.
The child welfare system at its core is designed to protect children who need protection, okay? And that's key, is who need protection.
So social workers, out of fear, will remove more children rather than only remove those children that truly need to be removed.
It's okay. It's okay.
This isn't someone stole your car. Someone broke into your house. This is someone took your child, your flesh and blood.
It doesn't say on this order that it was not proven. It says untrue. I immediately knew that, okay, well, this ain't over.
Signs? Did I miss them? Did I catch them? At this point, I honestly don't know.
Families only get a finite amount of time to reunify.
I came into this field to help families, not destroy them.
The difference between the criminal system and the child welfare system is substantial. You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Georgette True, and I am the host for Relatives Fight CPS, and my co-host is Cassandra Woodard. Hi, Cassandra.
Hello.
Darren might be joining us. He's running a little late. So I just want to give a little bit of advice that I've been trying to do on all my shows now is to grandparents and aunts and uncles and what have you. I have noticed that a lot of grandparents make false allegations on the daughter-in-law or the significant other that their son or daughter are dating, and they decide to have children with them.
Mm-hmm.
It is so sad that so many are reporting them anonymously, and then they disclose later on that they made the reports and they regret it because it backfired on everybody in the family, meaning the grandmother didn't have placement of the children or the child, and then the father lost his rights, and then the mother lost her rights, or whatever the case may be. Now, family life is very important. I had a family life where my mom and dad discussed things together, and if we did wrong, then they discussed it with us. There was no hitting, there was no violence. That was family life. Maybe because I'm in my mid-50s, I still can't see the world as is right now. I'm having a very hard time to see that. But talk to your family. Talk together. I mean, it would be a lot better to have, if you're the grandmother and you're the mother-in-law, have your daughter-in-law under your wing, meaning, nurture her, love her, make her your own daughter. And the relationship will prosper. It would be stronger and better. But don't retaliate against her because she's of a different kind, or that she doesn't please you or appease you. It doesn't matter. What matters is the children. At the end of the day, what matters is the children. And she is still the mother of the child, and he is still the father of the child. What I have seen the older I get, there is no unity anymore. There is no sitting on the table having dinner together and, talk about your day. And everybody's so involved in their own days and their own lifestyle that they forget about everyone else. But be the peacemaker. Don't be the destruction, the cause of chaos. Because once you involve CPS, you're literally involving evil to walk in your door and in your daughter-in-law's door and in your son-in-law's door. So make sure that you understand that the kids are the number one here. There was a case that we were working on a while back where the mother-in-law didn't like to see her son lose custody, or losing custody rather, in family law. So his aunt works for the Department of Child Services. So of course, you know, a controlling mother-in-law will do everything possible to help her son. So she reported the mother to DCFS. The mother lost her children. This one, it didn't backfire on the mother-in-law. However, the father has custody of the children, her son. And the bad thing that happened is that the children got older and they began to get wiser and more aware of their surroundings and what happened really, what is happening, and who is behind what. So it does backfire on you. It might not backfire on you immediately. Some do fire on them immediately. However, some will fire back on them as the child gets older or the children get older. And that mother-in-law gained nothing. She might be happier that she won, her son won or whatever, but the ones who are suffering are the children, because her daughter-in-law was a good woman, right? So therefore, she lost something that could have been an addition to the family. It's taken that daughter-in-law in as family and making her her daughter as well. That's how my mother did it. You know, that's what it's called, wisdom. It's wisdom. Instead of creating chaos, you actually, here you go, Molly. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. Come here. Sorry, guys. Come here. It's okay. Come here. Okay, here we go. So basically, just create peace between you and your daughter-in-law rather than inviting the devil in the home, which is CPS. Basically, that's what it is. So, hi, Darren. Welcome back.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I saw my mother for a minute.
Okay. All right. So I was discussing about mother-in-laws and trying to educate them not to retaliate against their daughter-in-laws, because sometimes, I mean, not sometimes, all the time, the kids suffer. And sometimes it backfires on them, and sometimes it doesn't backfire on them right away, but it takes time as the kids get older and they discover the truth, the real truth behind what the family done away from the mom.
The problem is people don't realize the severity of what they're doing.
Right.
You know, like, to have your kid taken from you is just, I know we talk about it all the time, but I don't think we talk about it enough either. Like, I don't think people understand the impact that it has. And it's just not like, oh, it's the parents, because it's the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the nephews, the brothers, the friends of friends. It's the friends here.
It impacts
it's
everybody.
A mess. Right. It's a mess. It's like, it's a huge infliction upon many people, and no one understands that. They think it's just, you know, oh, it's the parent and that, you know. No, it's got nothing to do, you know, like, if that, as far as that kid's name goes, that's as far as it affects. So, like, for a grandparent to make a stupid phone call, or any relative to call up and say, oh, hey, you know, Tom, I don't like him, you know, are you kidding me? You're gonna inflict this type of mayhem, or whatever you want to call it, on people? Like, the people are just too stupid. Their system's too loose. I think that part too. Like, oh, we're gonna hurry up, we're gonna get in there and make an investigation. That doesn't mean you have to X every fucking box every time you come and investigate.
Right.
You know what I mean? Think about a cop. Imagine if a cop every day, every time they went to a call, they arrested someone. Think about it. They don't do that, do they?
It just takes one call, and
They
that's
try.
that's one call. All it takes is one call.
Here
and
in
that's
California.
They just one call. That's all they need is one call, and they will come to your door.
Well, this is my point. It seems like more and more that we're hearing is every time CPS is involved, they're taking the kids.
I know.
Like there's no, oh, okay, let's give you the 30 days. No, they're like, kid's gone. I mean, the numbers aren't going down, they're going up. So this is what that's why I was comparing it to the cops. Like cops all day long are stopping people, going to houses. They're not arresting everybody that they're going to see.
Right.
CPS needs to back the fuck off and loosen themselves up and smarten the fuck up and actually know who they're supposed to be going after and targeting and leave all these regular and normal people home. You know, people are people. People make mistakes. That happens. People are addicts. I'm not advocating that, but you know, like all of this bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Life happens. So
life happens all the time. Too much nowadays.
Me and Cassandra were talking about the amendment, the Parental Rights Amendment, and it was trying to pass several times. Am I right, Cassandra?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here in California, for sure, I know about. Like, I don't know about like the whole United States, but I've been keeping track of the California Parental Bill of Rights Act, and it's been trying. Like, it has quite a history so far. It says it was started in, well, they started to try to do it, I guess, in 2022, February of 2022 so far for this one. And they're still trying to push it, but it's.
But they have to rewrite it 7 times.
Yeah.
But what does that entail? What does that entail?
It's changing, let me see. It's changing the bill. What we have in California right now, like, is just like we only have like 4 like rights basically towards our kids when they get taken. Like we could like do their medical, their school.
Right.
And we could have say so. We don't have the final decision. We could have say so on these things.
Right.
On those things. But we do have the right to visits, and we do have the right to there was one other thing. What is it? The right to visits and the right to know about things, basically, about what's going on with their schooling and their medical. But we only have a say so. We only have a say so on what they can do.
So
here's the other thing. If reunification is what all these people always, we're gunning for reunification. That's what we're doing.
Bullshit.
Then why is it? Yeah, it is bullshit, because reunification isn't one time a week getting a supervised visit. You know what I mean? Like, reunification isn't being able to talk to your kids. Reunification isn't this. They're fucking liars. All these people are liars, and they're gonna burn in hell. And I hope to God that he gives me the job to watch all these fuckers go down there, because I'm gonna laugh when they go by. I'm gonna say, you thought it was me, you dickheads, but it's you. And they all gonna go down and they're gonna burn. And I cannot wait until this day happens. And I hope that they stay there for eternity and they're in damnation and all that shit, because these people are fucking evil. They really are. They are terrible. They get off. They get off on watching your emotions, watching you cry, watching you. That woman that did that to us when they came and took my daughter, she smirked. And you know what my older daughter said? I didn't call her off either. And that was in the report. Oh, Darren couldn't control. My older daughter, which is 23, you know, she told her to go fuck herself. You're going to smirk at us while our kids, you know, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, you can't control your older daughter? I said, I can control her just fine. I don't want to. She's doing a great job. You know, like this, screw you people. Like, what do you think? You're supposed to smile and clap and welcome you in when you're stealing our kids? These people are fucking assholes. And why these senators and congressmen? I know you say there's people backstage. Screw them, grow some balls and come up to the front, because no one is listening to anybody here. You know, like, not everybody has $1 million to take on, you know, the finest attorneys in the world. And you know what? The people with $1 million aren't the ones that are getting in trouble anymore. They are poaching. They're predatory. They're poaching on poor people, on addictions. They are sitting right in that little, hey, if you're getting a stimulus check, you're going to get a visit from CPS. Might as well just look at it that way. That stimulus check you get, it's a CPS investigation coming right behind it. That's the way it is.
Right. There's a lot of people that with the stimulus checks, they did get CPS after them. I don't know why.
Of course they did.
I still can't. I've heard it from so many people, but I was like telling myself when I was talking to them, like, are you sure? Is that new? Is that a new thing that this happened? I'm not sure. But
well, a lot of them are, because a lot of them are income based. So it depends on what you had, what you made, how you did, you know what I'm saying? So like that last round, you know, like if you made under 32,000 or something like that, I mean, you were definitely in the poverty level. They were coming right behind it. That's bullshit. You know, why is that not what do they call it? Classifying, looking at people, grouping them together. What was that called? You guys have it out in California a lot. They take a group of people and they are
classifying.
Yeah.
Or it's
yeah.
like,
Yes, classifying. What in the hell? Not gender classifying. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't do it. It's illegal. You know,
yeah, I know
racial
what you're talking about.
profiling. Racial profiling.
I want to express
Racial
something.
profiling.
Racial profiling.
Yes.
Right. So
Profiling. Yes.
I want to explain something to the grandparents out there. So the ones that haven't reported your children to DCFS and you guys are innocent from it, I want to explain something to you. Once your child, the child of the parent, I mean, once the mother or the father lose their parental rights, you don't have rights to fight for that child anymore. So it's very important. Don't wait until your child loses her parental rights or his parental rights, because your rights will be also lost. Also,
because they will try to cock block the grandparents. I mean, they come
Right.
out and they try to do that all the time. You know, like they'll try to give the stiff arm to the grandparents just as much as they're doing to the parents. And, you know, grandparents need to know that they have every right to fight for that child.
Right.
Like you get into the arena, grand folks, you know, like that, you know, your family, if your kid's down and out and you didn't call on them, you get in that arena and help them.
Right.
Because it's a tough fight.
Right. And also during the initial hearing, the 72-hour hearing, after removal, CPS tells you that you will get your child back at that hearing. That is false information. So oftentimes people, their kids are being removed, and then the social worker says, "Oh no, you're going to get your child back on that hearing." That's false. I've heard that from over 30% of people I speak with.
Yeah, that's a preponderance amount of evidence.
Yeah, and they all don't know each other. None of them know each other. They just they're telling me from different states, different counties, and then the same, because they don't want you to be prepared for the removal hearing, because that's the most important hearing in the whole entire case. That's the most important hearing, is the initial removal hearing, because if you don't have an attorney and you're depending on your court-appointed attorney, you're
fucked.
You're screwed.
Because they waive it. Our court-appointed attorneys.
Correct.
We have two of them. We have two. And they said, no, we're going to waive that. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because that is, you should, if they take your kid and you make sure you go to that damn hearing and you go there with guns blazing, because that's the only chance in God's nation that you have to try and fight for your kid in a fair, it's going to be the fairest fight that you're going to have in the entire time. Because once they dig in, you're fucked. That's just basic English, and that's calling it real. You know that there's a reason it costs for me now. If I wanted to take on Mr. Davis, it'd be over $100,000. It was $40,000 when we started, but the way my case has gone, the time amount, that's a lot of work for him to do. And these people dig.
And that was 40,000 when I initially spoke with you. That was 2.5 years ago.
Right. Exactly. So it's people don't realize that.
No, you thought that it's going to be okay. You thought.
Yeah, remember, I didn't want to pay that money because I said 3 months, because it was going to be 3 to 4 months for him to get the his lawyer thing in Maine here, and I was like, 3 to 4 months.
Because sometimes
she'll be back by then.
No. Yeah, exactly. But I also told you, because in some states, Davis knows attorneys already. He already has an attorney already in place because he's done cases in other states before. But there are some states that attorney, for example, is not doing that anymore, or he retired or what have you. So that's why it's very important. But yes, you thought that you were going to
get you always did. Yeah. And what I've realized is that's the syndrome of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, they're going to get you get him back. It's just going to be nothing. They're not. Those people are so evil. They're so cash hungry, and they dig it. If you didn't have a problem before, once they take your kid, you're going to have one. Yeah. Whether they say that you're late for your visits, whether they say that you're missing phone calls, whether they say, so then they go on to prove that you're not an adequate parent anyhow. Like maybe they couldn't prove that you were inadequate at first, but they definitely are now going to try to prove that you aren't adequate and you're not going to do this. You know, they'll they'll fudge with your, the doctor visits. They do all kinds of crap. They dig in. So when they go to that courtroom, they're like, boom, look at this.
But
And
you
they
want to know
gotcha.
why they do that? You want to know why they do that and why people feel that way? It's because they basically try to put you through the 5 stages of grief.
They do.
5 stages of grief. Do you know what those 5 stages are?
I don't actually. I can see what you're saying.
Denial,
Yeah.
anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. That's what they're trying to do to us. Is have us grieve. Have grief.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And
that's what it is. It's the 5 stages of grief.
And then
Denial,
they blame it on you
denying
you're
that,
crazy. Right.
Yeah. We're trying to deny that this is not happening to us. And then we get mad about it, and then they make us look crazy. And then we try to bargain, and try to actually do what they want us to do. And it still doesn't work. So we get depressed, and then we just accept the fact that we're not going to get our kids back. And that's what they want us to do. So right there,
and you know what?
5 stages
So
of grief.
I never knew that. But did you know that it only takes 1 year and 2 months for the heart to heal itself from a failing or an old relationship?
An old relationship, but not your children.
Right. I think that's what they go by for these young children. They make it that year, and they get it to that point where these, they're calling the foster families mom and dad, and this, that, and the other. They forced you out of your visits now, so you can't go. You can't talk to your kid anymore. They don't let you tell your children why. This is bullshit. Our Constitution says, it says we are allowed life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and our fucking kids are involved in that whole little spiel. And the fact, again, I can't reiterate, for someone to grow some balls with some sort of a figurehead to step out and say this has to stop. Because who would have ever thought the number one leading country in the fucking world is the number one country in kidnapping and all this nasty shit that goes on with our kids? This is what we don't talk about enough, is the effects that this has on the children. No one talks about this. They're all alcoholics. They're killing themselves. It's bullshit.
Correct. Check this out. I heard a politician last year making fun of another country. Right. However, I was thinking to myself, you're making fun of this country, but you're not looking what you're doing to your own country.
Yeah. No other country in the world does this.
Exactly. No other kids in the world are actually kidnapped as much as in America.
Right.
Not as much. The percentage is so high in America that other countries are like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They wonder why they're sought after, because that's what they're used. They're like, oh, if you're American and you go to another country. Yeah, exactly. Nancy Schaefer. She's dead.
Schaefer, exactly. Nancy Schaefer.
But they go, they go like
Parental, for the California Bill of Rights, for all the Bill of Rights, for parental rights, like Bill of Rights stuff, go to parentalrights.org. Parentalrights.org. And you could see who to contact in your state about your legislation, all that stuff. Like you could see the law in your state. The
legislator, right.
And then it shows all the laws for each state and who to contact for each state. They have all the information about the Bill of Rights. And they also have a thing where you could support them on Amazon for smile.amazon.com. Go to smile.amazon.com, type in Parental Rights Foundation into your little search, and it will take you to all the stuff that's eligible to support them by no cost to you. You just order the certain stuff that you like to order, and their proceeds go towards that Parental Rights Foundation.
Right. There you go. That's very good to know, you guys. And also, let's discuss Nancy Schaefer. A lot of you guys read that or heard that it was her husband that murdered her, but that's what they're reading. Nancy Schaefer was getting a lot of death threats when she exposed Bill Clinton and the system, the government, and that's why she lost her seat in the Senate. And she didn't stop there. She was for Georgia. And when she lost her seat, she just kept exposing. And she actually had doctors who actually went and said that the social workers would pressure them, and or if they don't do what they say, then they're going to lose their medical license.
Yeah.
So Nancy Schaefer was tired of this crap, and she exposed everybody, including the Clintons, and
Yeah.
was murdered in her home, and they blamed it on her husband. Her husband was also killed, but they made it look like he shot himself.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
again, that's my opinion. I'm not asking you guys to believe it or not. That's my opinion.
That's a lot of people's opinion, not just yours.
Yeah. Oh, it is? I didn't
I'm
know.
going to say listen, that's a fact. I'm done with the opinion. These people gang stalk you. These people are so terrible to you. CPS,
That's why
Georgette
Nancy
says all the
Schaefer,
time. Yeah, Georgette
that
says that
speech
they're the
that
devil. Like,
the speech
you
that you
people
read
don't
every
even
show.
realize. Yeah, they don't even realize how awful and terrible these people are. Like, and what they're willing.
That she reads every show, the speech she reads usually every show is on the first page of the parentalrights.org. Like, I was going through the pages, like I went to like one of the pages and I'm like reading it and I'm like, wait, I've heard this before. And it's Nancy Schaefer's speech from that you read every time we come on the show. It's on that website.
So I don't care what anyone says. That woman knew exactly what she's talking about. I studied Nancy Schaefer like for 2 years. 2 years. I would listen to her over and over again until it sunk in here. And if anyone tells me that she was wrong, I would just look at them and say, that's your opinion. God bless you and goodbye. God bless you is a nice way of saying stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I mean, because to me, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. Do your own research. So to me,
Right.
Nancy Schaefer was murdered, not by her husband.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Okay, but of course, the government doesn't want you to know that, because everything happens, they want to brush it under the rug and put the rug on top of the bullshit and keep it silent.
Yeah, so many people that they know when they're in politics have a heart attack or a car accident or or what was Vince Foster? Vince Foster's laying upside down on Capitol Hill, but there's no blood in his head. I don't know how that happened, but 60 people in office, 60 people that were associated with the Clintons while they were in office, dead by heart attack or
suicide. You never.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. He killed himself in that jail right there in New York, huh? Yeah, no. He had the Porn Havens information on these people. Bill Clinton, all of them. They were so afraid when they wrapped him up that guy was going to squawk like a little bitch that he was, and he was going to get out of his, because what he was doing was fucking terrible, and he was ready to tell on all of them to get his ass out of that jail because he wasn't ready for that.
Yep.
He wanted to go to his little posh place down there in Florida, back to the little 15-year-olds rubbing his back and doing all that bullshit. And he was going to tell that Bill Clinton, they bring him to that nice little island. I forget what they even called that. The airplane even had a freaking messed up name that represented pedophilia and everything. Like, people are whack. Joe Biden, who would have ever thought that the White House, the symbol of the free world, is home to pedophiles right now? And who does anything? Hope you're all happy that y'all voted for him instead of Trump.
Right.
Seriously.
Exactly. And a lot of people
pedophiles in the White House.
But guys, you might disagree with what Darren said, or you might disagree with Cassandra says, or me. However, the show is mainly to bring awareness, just so you understand. And
Look at this. Look at this.
Go ahead, ISIS, make my day.
Look at this. Trump 2016, baby. Woo! Keeping it real.
Actually, they were kind of more afraid of him than we were of them. So, yeah. So it is very important for you guys to understand we're bringing awareness to the corruption that goes on with CPS. Okay, so Romana said this person that is supposed to take care of my sister is my older sister, and she also got my sister drunk and a lot more. Let's read it from the beginning. Let's see what she said. Okay, she said, can CPS take away my sister if they put her in an unsafe home? My sister told them that she don't want to go back, but they put her back. This person that supposed to take care of my sister is my older sister, and she also got my sister drunk and a lot more. Can you guys look at my comments? I need to know more than that, Romana. I need
Mama
to know
Bear, I'm
how
right
old
here.
your
I just
sister
want to.
is. I don't know. I need more depth information than that. How old is your sister? The older sister that had gotten a child drunk. When was the child removed? Why was the child removed? And how old the child is? There's a lot of questions I would like answer for to even know what's going on exactly. Stacy said, it all sounds like conspiracy until you see it in real life. Cassandra and Darren, can I see your faces, please?
Yeah, Mama Bear, I'm dealing. I got to deal with. I'm just dealing with something. I'll be right with you. This is
Okay.
some people came. I'm right here. I'm listening, but I just have to deal with something.
So Stacy, hi. So Stacy said it all sounds like a conspiracy until you see it in real life. So that's pretty much
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is like the God honest truth. Like nobody believes you until it happens to you.
Yeah.
For
And that's
sure.
right. And that's exactly why Nancy Schaefer was in deep water when she did not listen to the threats and she just kept continuing on to protect parents and bring awareness out there. She actually brought a lot of awareness, more than anyone I know. And the sad part about it is that she lost her life for it. And a lot of people, that's why a lot of
another sad thing is like nobody else is going to do anything like that again in her position, in her like how she was a high powered person in the Senate and everything, and nobody else is going to do that again, like because of what happened to her. They used her as an example and now we're fucked.
And nobody in the Senate wants to lose their seat. So they have to be very walking in eggshells, but yet they're in the Senate to make a difference, but yet
they can lose their life also.
Right.
They made an example out of her. And that's sad. It's fucked up and sad. Wow. That's what our country is. Fucked up and sad.
Hey, Ramona, instead of us going back and forth like this, honey, I don't know if I ever spoke to you before. I don't know if you spoke to our office before. If you have not spoken to us before, please contact the 888-888-6582. Speak to Joni, Rachel, or Diane and ask to speak to GT. And I can understand a little bit more about your case. Thank you very much. Stacy said it's all about destroying the fabric of future generation and keeping modern day salvation on the pyramid where the elite want them. That is very, very correct. Very correct. I heard a pastor speak those words, by the way. Let me share this with you guys. He said, I support the Freedom of Parental Rights Amendment because it is necessary. It's the foundational principle of family and life itself. And when you have a government limiting the ability of the parent to raise their child, we are in for a governmental state where we have to check with the government to see what we can tell our children, while the government is telling our children wrong. Example, giving a 6-year-old condoms at school. Another example, allowing an 8-year-old to choose what sex gender they want to be. That is all wrong, he said. That is not how civilization advances or grows. That's why it is very important to pass a bill that parents have the right, their God-given right to raise their children. There you have it. And it's very important for you guys to understand that we have to fight for our rights. We really do. Oh God. Okay, Tanya said she needs help in New York, in North Carolina. A foster social worker is accusing me of threatening her when I am not. Then they want to keep having private hearings. I want to hear I want I guess the hear to be public. I want the hear to be public. Okay, so they do have private hearings. They do. Among themselves. It's kind of like a cult group, coming together to destroy one's life. Okay. So it's kind of, they do have private hearings that they don't want the parent to go to. I don't know if you, well, of course, if you hire your own attorney, then he or she might be able to help you with that. Hearing to be public. You want the hearing to be public. I don't know if that's possible. I did hear from one of our attorneys before. She said they do conduct private hearings, not public hearings among
Yeah,
themselves.
they're never going to allow that to go public because they don't want you to see all the bullshit that they do behind that. And what they also don't want people to see is they don't want to see the emotion. The last thing they want to see is an emotional parent in that courtroom, because you know what they should do? They should make these jury trials. Because if you made this a jury trial, I'll bet you 9 times out of 10, you would never, ever see a kid get removed from them homes.
Yeah.
Bet you not. If you made them public and a trial by your peers, which isn't it funny that juvenile court has its own laws?
Yeah.
They can just make their own freaking rules. They can do what they want to do. They can make a level of evidence that isn't even, it's not even a fact. It's not even based on facts. It's, hey, maybe Darren might have thought of one time, maybe, possibly. Oh, okay. Yep, they did. That's it. Take the kids. It's ridiculous. Preponderous amount of evidence needs to go out the freaking door.
Right. I agree with you. Hi there. Together we break chains. Hi, sweetheart. Darren,
I love Together We Break Chains.
Darren, you might want to see this comment. I'll let you answer that one. There you go. That's for you, Darren.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, I know that Trump was friends with Epstein, but a long time ago, and he never once went on the plane or he didn't go to the island. But he did meet them. He met Ivana Trump. Yeah, there's pictures of them and all of that stuff. I mean, the guy was somehow, you know what? You have to give it to Epstein because somehow he was a nobody that was turned into something else. I mean, that guy was just a New York teacher that somehow involved himself. He got some money and everything else, and he got himself into a place of power.
But wait,
and anybody knows anybody.
But wait, let me stop you for a second. Cassandra, what did Trump try to do with CPS? I can't hear you, honey.
The Family First Prevention Act. He started the Family First Prevention Act, which is the act where he was going to try to start getting families to be prevented from getting separated before getting separated, like keep families together out of CPS. Right. He was trying to change what Bill Clinton did in 1997.
So that's what's important. That's what's important.
The rumor is the last 2 days.
Mr. I think the name is MRT Toledo.
KEYMOUSE.
Yeah. Mr. Toledo, that's the important part here, is what Trump was trying to do.
To reverse. He was trying to reverse a lot of stuff.
Put in place. So let's look at the big picture and let's focus on facts rather than distracting yourself from you hating Trump or not.
Right. Because there's rumor is that the last day he was in office, he was attempting to abolish CPS.
CPS, exactly.
He was trying to rid it. He was trying to use his presidential veto power to get rid of CPS altogether. That's correct. For whatever reason, he couldn't make it happen. Or
I do know why, because around the same time I got the newsletter from the Trump administration, they start attacking his character with Putin, that he's in cahoots with Putin.
And they also try to attack his character with Hillary Clinton. They try to do all that stuff, and they try to Hillary was trying to distract everybody from what he was actually doing. That's what it was, because she didn't want her husband to go down.
And look, Together We Break Chains said when Trump was informed that Epstein was doing those things, doing the things he did, Trump himself outed out, I guess, and he never spoke to him again. That is very true.
Yep.
That is the God honest truth. And people don't understand. Yes, he did have diarrhea in the mouth. I get it. He was not a politician. He was a New Yorker. He spoke his mind and he didn't care.
Right.
And,
He was a rich TV icon. That's all he was.
no, he was.
He was
But
what we need more of.
He was trying to make a difference. And he even said that he loved his mother dearly.
He was an American. That's what he was. He was a fucking real American.
Yes, he was.
Something that
is.
Like none of these politicians are real Americans. Like real people. We're real people. We're real people. And that's what he was a real person.
Yeah. The other ones we had in office, they took out "In God We Trust," for example. They took out, you can't even speak of God. You're like, you're crazy if you mention God. That's insane. The reason we're breathing is because of God. The reason we have oxygen is because of God. I mean, that's me. And Darren feels the same way. Cassandra feels the same way. Some of you might feel the same way. Some of you might not. But again, Trump did try to do a lot of good things for the country. So let's focus on those good things and not on what CNN said or what, how the other, media stations reported to be all that. I mean, even the word Democrat is kind of like demonocrat. There you go. Democrat. People want to call Trump a racist, while Biden went to the funeral of the Grand Wizard of the KKK and said that man was his inspiration. Look it up. I believe that too. I actually heard about that, by the way. I heard about that. So there's a lot, but there's a lot of politicians who are just behind the scene, but in front of the camera, they're perfect. Trump was the same in front of the camera and behind the camera. So he didn't change himself shifted from one person to the next. That's what Democrats do. That's exactly what they do. They shift. Samuel said, so we have jury trial in Texas and results are better with a judge than them. People have the idea that these parents are terrible. That is correct. But judges also have the idea these parents are terrible. So judges believe whatever the social workers say.
Yep.
I mean, what do you think about this statement, Darren and Cassandra?
So do public defenders. Public defenders, the public pretenders, and the judges, they believe everything the social worker says. So as soon as you go in there, you're just profiled as a piece of shit.
There you go. But I don't know. I think if we have a jury, if we can all get jury, if we have the, you know what I mean, make it like a jury rule kind of thing. Do you think that would be better?
If they actually let us, if they did it exactly how they do in a regular court, yeah, it probably would work.
You choose, your attorney chooses the jury, right? 50-50 kind of thing.
Yeah, so, if they did everything, literally everything like they do in a regular court, how they do it,
I think that would
then it would work. Correct. But since they want to do everything, because they do, our amendments say that we can't have a bail that's over bail or cruel or unusual punishment or something like that, right? One of the amendments. We're getting cruel and unusual punishment daily when our kids get taken. That right there is just cruel and unusual punishment right there. So anything that happens in a regular court doesn't happen in CPS court. So it's just the juvenile dependency court is fucked. It's never going to be good.
It's not just a juvenile. Let's be real. It's not just juvenile. It's everywhere. Our judicial system is screwed up. Our government
all the way through it.
I mean, there is absolutely nothing legit about any of these people. I'm being honest with you. Nothing.
I know.
They just.
I mean, you work at a law firm. You know better than anybody.
Cassandra.
I'm sorry, I keep yawning.
We're keeping Cassandra awake.
Am I boring, Cassandra?
No, I've been yawning all day. I don't know what it is. I've just been really tired today.
She's tired. You're tired, Cassandra. That's
What were
why.
you up doing all night, Cassandra?
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's what I am.
Yeah,
That's what
all
it
right.
is. That's
That's
true.
right.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's a good
So,
one. I
Jen,
love
I think we should take a poll. I think we should take a poll. I don't think that she's full of malarkey.
No, I really am just tired. I slept all
Look,
night.
she's
I
got a
swear.
T-shirt on today. She's probably
Yeah,
making a left in
I
front of
was
where she's
lazy
at.
today.
Yeah,
She's
but you're
very
usually all dressed up
punctual.
nice. Usually all dressed up nice. Starting to look like me. Am I rubbing off?
No.
Nothing more scared than a relationship between a parent and a child.
Sacred.
Sacred. Sorry, sacred. I'm so sorry. Nothing more sacred than a relationship between a parent and a child. That is so.
No, there's not.
But they're taking that away from parents. They are.
Yeah, you know, it's probably harder for the. I'll bet you it's harder for the dog catcher or whatever you call it, your animal control officer, to remove your dog from your house than it is for your kid. I'll bet you that's a fact.
It is a fact. That is for sure a fact. I know it
I mean,
for a fact. Like, that's a fact. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I know some
Cassandra,
people who have had dogs attack kids.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
Kids.
Right. I'm not going to put any. I don't want to put any salt in the wound here. But with your case, you just sat at home and just kicked your legs up, and you lost your kids. You didn't even do anything wrong. So I believe that. You know.
Exactly.
Like you were just having a nice, relaxing
I was
weekend, being
actually
mom
just like sleeping
free,
in
and
my
they took
bed,
your
you
kids.
know, like, and I
Bullshit.
wake up to my best friend knocking on my door, telling me my kids are gone. Like,
Right. I mean, that's what I don't get it. I just don't get it.
yeah, I'm just such a horrible mom. Like, I just spent $200 on my daughter for her skateboard that she wanted really bad, customized and everything, you know. But I'm a horrible mom.
Right.
Like,
Oh my God.
You
Who
need
is
some
the
shock
accuser?
therapy.
Who is the accuser and the persecutor and the father of lies?
The devil.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Satan?
The devil?
The devil?
The devil? No. First of all, that's why I call them demons, right? They hold your past against you, even when your past.
Oh yeah.
Stealing a pen from Staples, you know, petty theft, whatever, when you were 16. What else?
Or getting in an argument with your mom, and then you go into juvenile hall because she called the cops on you, and then they believed what she said. When CPS didn't actually work that time. Like, because I could have got taken by CPS for my mom, but they didn't. They decided to put me in juvenile hall. And then they used it against me when I got older.
There you go. There you go. Which completely.
Because my mom was abusing me.
It doesn't justify who she is right now. It doesn't say that's who Cassandra is right now.
Doesn't say that I'm gonna raise my kids to be anyway like how my mom raised me or how my mom treated me. I'm not gonna treat my kids the way my mom treated me. That's not gonna say that. I'm not gonna treat my kids the way my mom treated me, because my mom treated me kind of. She took care of me, but she wasn't very nice. Like, let's just put it that way. And I wasn't going to do the same thing to my kids. But they think that I am. So I have to take parenting classes and domestic violence classes and everything else because of something that happened between me and my mother when I was a juvenile.
Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunate. But they tell you that you're a bad mother. They don't even know you. But the thing is, they stay with you for a couple of minutes and then they already summed you up. These mother F's.
They didn't even do that. Like, I got to court.
Yeah.
And my public pretender tells me, she gives me the report of what they got, right? And I read it. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, are you guys serious? Like, this is what you, like, my mind is blown, like, on what they have written about me. Like, because I have no idea, like, who this person they're talking about is until they say the mother of the children at the end of the statement. And I'm like, who was doing this to all my kids? Like, I'm like, that's not me. Like, I don't even know anything about any of this. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
And then the attorney's just like, oh, well, you're just going to have to go along with what they say because they're not going to believe you anyway, kind of thing. and just like go with it. Like, and if you don't, then whatever. And the only person that I had a witness to all this passed away. So like the person that was with me when all this was said to me, I have no evidence of, because she passed away, and it was my aunt. And I can't, and like I'm just like, wow, like these people. And it was the same aunt that the CPS worker told her when she had her kids taken, I'm gonna have your kids taken, and your kids as kids, and your kids as kids.
Right.
So like,
I want to hold on, Cassandra, for a second, baby girl.
Okay.
I want to just say something to Teresa Lee. If you have a case in Ohio, your son is in Ohio, and you live in New Jersey, you're going to have to handle this case in Ohio, okay? Or you might want to have a consultation with Davis. You can go
15 minutes.
For 15 minutes. Oh my God, I forgot the
What is it? Calendly?
Yeah.
Calendar.
Grace, could you please, honey, post it on
Calendar?
You're funny. I wish you were like this. Georgia, we need her like this more often. Look at her. She's laughing, not crying. It's great.
I wish she always laughs.
I know. She looks much happier when she's laughing.
I know. She's sad, though. Everybody's sad.
It's calendarly. I can't say it.
What's it called? Oh my God.
I can't say it either. It's calendarly. I think I did it that time.
Grace, if you are listening, please put the post on there for the link for the 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. That is free.
It's golden. That is golden. That is like the golden ticket to like every freaking Willy Wonka factory you could possibly go to. That 15 minutes is golden. That's your golden ticket to the chocolate factory. That is, I'm telling you right now.
Cassandra's got the golden ticket.
It really is, though. Like that.
Hey, Miss G, did you read my letter I sent to you?
And the one, the email that you sent to me?
Yeah, did you read it?
No, I didn't have time to read it, Darren, but I will.
Well, I need to submit it. I mean, I'm 24 hours out right here.
Okay, dear, but okay. All right, so here's the link, guys. This is the link to make a 15-minute free consultation with Davis.
To get your golden ticket.
Yeah. For free consultation. And it feels like they took my arm and left with it and said, I might bring it back. There you go. When they steal your child from you, Stacy said, it feels like they took her arm.
Yeah, they took her arm and left with it.
And it might bring it back. And they might bring it back. And they talk about children like that. We might bring it back.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because the kids become a number. That's their product. And I keep telling you guys that this is the new world order. Your children are the new world order. Yeah. The Bible says the love of money, Tanya, is the root of all evil, not the money itself. Money itself, we need to survive. Even Jesus said, pay Caesar what you owe Caesar and pay God what you need to give to God. So it's kind of, let's make sure that you word it right, baby girl, because the money is not the evil part. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. Meaning if you love money more than doing the right thing, if you deceive people for money, you use people to pay your way around, that's evil. That is evil right there. Okay, we write that. And then Teresa said, my son told me that the stove wasn't working, so that was the reason why he was cooking over the fire pit. Okay. Teresa, if your case is out of state, honey, you need to find a juvenile dependency attorney. You can consult with Mr. Davis, but what I was explaining earlier, Mr. Davis can go to state to fight cases, but he would need you would have to sign an agreement. There's a retainer involved. The retainers are not cheap. I can honestly tell you that. Depending on the case, you're looking at $77,000 and up, depending on how the severity of the case is. that Mr. Davis has to get an attorney from that state, and that attorney has to swear him in, but he charges Davis a retainer as well to swear him in that state, to follow the guidelines of the state, what have you. So it takes between 2 to 3 months to get that approved. And sometimes it's approved right away. Sometimes it takes 3 weeks. It depends on the state. So just remember to look for a juvenile, not a family law attorney. She says so that was the main reason of those who get into a fight, but that's not the first time. That is the second time. All right. That's why, guys, I'm telling you right now, get a juvenile dependency attorney is very important. Darren knows, right, Darren? Where's Darren?
I do all the time.
So, she said, so my son had ran away when he was found
I'm going to
out.
be honest. I think it's so great to see
Was coming to talk to him. He thought that he was going to send him back to my dad's house. I didn't know why he got scared, and I don't know why he ran away. What do you mean you don't know why he ran away? Children usually runs away when they're being harmed.
because the kid knew that they were up to no good. That's why he ran away.
Yeah, the children usually run away when there's something not right. So they don't just run away unless a friend of them influenced them to run away. Unless a friend told them, hey, you're going to have freedom if you run away.
The first thing I thought when my daughter ran away from foster care was they were hurting her. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, as soon as I found out she was running away continuously. Like, so, yeah. She was either being harmed or something like that. Like, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Right.
That's usually why kids run away.
Well, your kids are being abused. That's why they ran away.
Yeah, I know.
But see, I like Stacy. Stacy is always coming up with some good stuff. I love that. Focus on the facts in your case and form a defense. The attorney cannot do all the research or the work. It's a team effort. That is very true. You provide the attorney with what you have, and the attorney will put the defense strategy together, okay, to win your case. But oftentimes the people are so scattered in their brain everywhere. They don't sleep, they don't eat, they're not thinking right, and they want the attorney to think for them, and they think the attorney can read their mind. That is, you're mistaken and delusional to think that. I've had a couple of people that called me and said, my attorney should read my mind. No, your attorney is not a mind reader. You have to provide your attorney with what you need to provide your attorney with. Okay? And False Bat said, it's a good thing the marijuana laws with CPS, because a huge number of their cases were just marijuana related. Well, why do you think they made marijuana legal? I don't know. I mean, I didn't vote for that to be. I don't get it. I don't get it, because they made alcohol legal, but look what's happening. They make marijuana legal, and look what's happening. They still get people for smoking marijuana when it's legal in your.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Miss Ladies.
Yes.
I need to get on the road due to what you guys read that I said to you. So I love you all very much.
I love you too. I mean, we love you too.
Yes, that's the duo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that's the one that caused everything, and he's seen that I was here. So I'm going to leave before there's more trouble.
Can you call me, please?
I'm leaving. I'll make sure I'll call you when I get home. I'll be home in like 10 minutes. But
okay, be safe.
If you guys are still on, I'll chime back in. But if not, I love you, ladies.
I love you too. And no, I'm gonna end it right now. So just call me. Okay.
All right, I will do that. I'll see you soon. All righty. Bye-bye, ladies.
Bye. Be safe.
Together said, be safe and be blessed. So sweet. Okay. Teresa, honey, like I said, a child ran away for a reason. There has to be a reason. It could be, again, somebody's influencing your child to run away, or that they're being abused in the home. So it plays two different roles. We don't know which one it is. And like I said, you need to speak to a CPS attorney immediately. She said, when I spoke to the lady from CPS over the phone saying, can I come up there to pick up my son? She said, I have to go through juvenile courts in Ohio. With you mean, Ohio with you mean, I asked her, I can't just come up there. Well, you shouldn't have said that either. You should not have said that. That means you're not going to sacrifice to go see your child. You have to understand, Teresa, everything you say will be held against you. They will hold it against you and they will twist your words around, even when you didn't mean it that way. So please, I'm begging you, even Cassandra will tell you, I'm telling you the truth. Do not speak to them. They're not going to understand what you're saying. They're going to twist the words around.
Oh, can I read something real quick?
Yes.
Right here, I found this thing, and it says right here that you should know the first thing you need to know about CPS and the juvenile court. It is a criminal conspiracy to steal your children for money. Do not be fooled into believing that they are actually caring about you or your children, and they do not. It is all about the money. It is all about the money. One of the CPS's main deceptions is that they care, and they con you into believing that they care, and they try to help you, and they're here for you and your children to help you with your problems. Don't be fooled.
Be aware of people in your lives, whether whether you met them recently, whether whatever. When they tell you I love you, or when they tell you like, hey, I'm here for you, I would never do anything to hurt you, all that stuff. Be careful, because those are the very people that will backstab you, and they will start a smear campaign against you and do all kinds of evil against you. So
they are lying to get information from you.
Yep. And to get you to trust them, so that way they have something to hold on you.
It says, don't say anything to them, to tell them, write down all your questions, and you will respond and get a lawyer, or don't tell your public defender, because they're not going to do shit for you either. And everything you say will be used against you and twisted as facts. Yeah. Everything will be twisted as facts. Everything you say will be twisted, and it won't be the real fact, but they'll make it fact. Because they could do that.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that? We had over 100 kids. Now, actually, that was more than 100 kids. They actually did a study. I think it was over 1,000 kids, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody sent it to me. 1,100 kids. Thank you. Together We Break Chains Production. I love that name. It reminds me of a song. Please listen to Miss G. She is also giving you biblical foundation as well. That is how you know she is real. Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate that. This one, I'm going to read this last question, and I have to cut the show off, please. I'll let you read it.
What is it like to be a parent having a 15-year-old child that has ADHD, and you can't get in touch with your child? His phone is off, and you don't know where he's at, and he's in another state, is I'm guessing what it's going to be, because you're talking about him being in another state. Well, I know how it is to have a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old daughter, both daughters, that aren't with you, and that you don't know where they are or how to contact them constantly, or it's scary, and it sucks because you just don't know.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It's very hard. It's very hard on a mom when you can't talk to your own child,
and you're sitting there at night thinking about like what they're thinking about, if they're okay, if somebody's hurting them or anything like that. It's hard.
Yeah. So
I deal with it every night.
Yeah. It's not easy, you guys. It's very, very hard. Just know this. I'm actually praying for each and every one of you guys. I kid you not. I write your names down after the show in my book. I write your names down. It's my little red book. Okay. And I actually pray for you guys every night. And I kid you not. And there are some of you who call me at nighttime and we pray together before bed. You know, you guys are more than welcome to ask me to do that. And we are like on the phone together. We're all praying together. And some of you might not believe in God. Some of you, you know, what have you. That doesn't mean I don't love you and I don't pray for you. I still pray for you. And just remember this. This is our spiritual warfare. Okay. The devil has no power over us. The devil only has power over us. It's only if we allow him to have that power. Remember that. Crying is not a sin and it's not weakness. Crying actually is okay. It's great because God counts your tears, especially a mother's tears. Okay. So venting out to God is important. Leaving your worries up to him is important. Sometimes the devil attacks us using people, but he uses people are already dark inside. They're evil inside already. So the devil uses them to create more chaos in your life. So you're dealing with your situation with DCFS, then you're dealing with somebody you thought you trusted, and then you're dealing with this, you're dealing with this, you're dealing with that. But you have to understand those people that came in your life to destroy it and to use you as a pawn are only from the devil. It's not from God. I don't care. I don't care if they're healers, or if they're pastors. I don't care if they're this. It's all lies. All lies. All of them. Anybody, just so you guys know,
Anybody
anyone can
who's
go
trying to
online and
do something to
yeah,
disrupt
it's
your
all lies.
life
Exactly. All
is
lies.
not from God.
Anyone can go online and become a pastor. Anyone. Anyone. That's not. So basically you have to understand that any chaos that comes in your life and any distraction is not from God, because God is peace, God is love. So when you have all that, put it aside. Be thankful that they tried to attack you, because they only tried to attack God's children, right? So be thankful that you are being attacked, because at the end of the day, your God is still on the throne and he knows what he's doing. We might not see it, but he sees it. He knows your enemy very well. And whatever pit they dug for you, they themselves will fall in it, because God is not a liar. He's the God of truth. And woe unto you for those who fight God's children and try to destroy them, because you yourself will be destroyed. And once you fall, you will never be able to get up again. So you guys have to understand your God is way more powerful than this. Leave your worries to him. Don't defend yourself, because God will send you those who will defend you and who will speak the truth against, for you. So whatever they meant against you, God will make it good for you. You understand? So be very mindful and do not lose your sight of God. That's correct. Thank you, Stacy, for that. Together we break chains. Said, please press that like. What like? What is he talking about? Please press that. Wait, I can't hear you, Cassandra. Cassandra, what do you?
The likes for your show on Facebook. Because you're awesome. Duh.
I didn't.
You're so silly. You don't give yourself enough credit either.
I'm so sorry. I wasn't thinking about it.
You don't give yourself enough credit. That's what it is. You don't. You really don't.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Teresa said, so I went to court April 13th of this year. The judge told me that I would have to cooperate with CPS and take a drug test. Take a drug test, baby, because it's already done. You've been there. You already cooperated with them, or you tried to accommodate them to get your children back. That's not going to work. And that's why it's very important to have an attorney to fight for your rights. It's very important to have an attorney to fight for your rights.
Just take the drug test.
Right.
I tried, but they didn't let me do it. Right. So.
Yeah.
So make sure you just cross all your T's and dot all your I's when you come to do drug tests like that too. Also, because they.
Oh my God, Stacey, thank you so much. She said, "Would love to. God is using you, and you've made a difference."
Yes, you do every day, and I tell you this all the time. I love you. You're awesome.
I love you too so much, and thank you so much, Stacey. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all this. And like I said, I do write your names down in my book. However, I want to pray for the right person. So if you're using a different name on Facebook or YouTube, I'm praying for the wrong person. So
you're not. No, you're not. God knows who you're talking about. God knows their Facebook name. No.
But some of them are not using their real name. I have this lady.
I know, but God knows who you're talking about.
No, you have to be specific.
No, you don't.
No, this lady last week, she said, Miss G, I want to give you my real name. This is my name on YouTube. And I said, okay, baby, what is your real name? And she gave it to me. I said, that's completely different. So make sure if you guys want me to put you on the prayer book, please, I'm begging you. I do have prayer warriors that pray for everyone every night. Again, if you want to include yourself in the prayer, you're more than welcome. So if you want, just call that number on the screen, the 888-888-6582, and give the reception, just talk to the reception, that tell them that you need to speak with me, and I will put your name on the prayer list. Okay. Cassandra, you've been on there already, so I already know you. So,
but do you know my real name? No.
Not necessary. Okay, that was not necessary right there. That was not.
You know what's funny though?
Go to your cat. Go to your cat. Secure your cat.
I am going to secure my cat. She's yelling again.
I love you guys. I love you, Cassandra. I'll see you guys.
Too. Bye.
Bye.